Wow, that is actually a beautiful shot of inside of the mausoleum itself. Bear with me. Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel. So today we're in County Westmeath in a place called Fore. Now up there is called Anchorite Cell. It's also a mausoleum, and we have the ruins of a church there, a little graveyard, and if I just turn around we actually have Fore Abbey way off down there in the distance. But today we are actually going to try and make our way up the bank here, or this hill, up to the mausoleum, and we're going to take a look at it then, and I'll tell you a little bit more information as we get near. So guys, as you can see, it's an awful day. This just caught my eye as we came in. R.I.P. Liam Ward, miss you daddy. And it's a digger, is it? Digger. Just kind of drawn there on the stone. And this is the beautiful grave of Liam Ward himself, and you can see also a big truck. And that's Liam there in the picture. And it's a lovely little inscription here. An outstanding character, father and machine man. Liam J. Ward. 2021, age 72. Beautiful picture there. So you can kind of see where we are. The graveyard itself is not in great condition. It's pretty bad actually in places. But just way off down there in the distance is Fore Abbey itself. We won't have time to do that today. But what we're trying to do is make our way up along to that mausoleum, or Anchorite Cell it's called. So this is the ruins of the church. We'll take a quick look at that first, and then we'll have to make our way up across a field, I believe, to have a look at the mausoleum. So just in this little area, surrounded by yew trees, is a beautiful obelisk memorial. And it's erected by Ellen McCormack in memory of her beloved husband Robert McCormack, 1893, aged 56, and also the above named Ellen McCormack, 1885, aged 62. Also Mary Kate McCormack, 1892. It's actually in a beautiful place. On the side of it, it says Michael A.M.C. Cormack. Died on the 4th of May 1919, aged just 21 years. Michael McCormack died on the 27th of June 1919, aged 58 years. So we've quite a few McCormacks buried here. And you can just imagine that these yew trees would have been only shrubs planted at the time, and now they are huge and give great shelter to the obelisk in here as well. So just there, and one beside it, we have what are burial mounds. So they are actually graves. Probably, you know, never had a headstone, but they are there. And it's always kind of eerie to see these burial mounds. So the sun is trying to come out, and it might give you a little bit of a better view for Fore Abbey just off there in the distance. Seems to be a lot of people walking the area. So that's the ruins. We want to see if there's any graves actually in the ruins themselves before we make the bit of a hike up to the mausoleum. So the mausoleum is actually now the Nugent mausoleum. So we have the Nugents buried in there. But that's giving you and look at it just there in the distance. And you can see it's like a rock formation just up there. I don't know whether we are actually going to get into the ruins of the church. Maybe not. Oh, hold on. Oh, this could be dodgy. Right, let's see if we can have a look inside. Okay, so what we have here actually is a very, very old baptismal font. Now, I don't know how old that is, but obviously it's original to the church itself. And there's the name of the church there. It says original 10th century. Later work, the 1200s, and then modern work. So it's actually colour coded to show you the newer and the much, much older areas of the church. So there doesn't seem to be any graves, which are quite unusual, although we do have these, which to me are really, really, really old tomb slabs. I don't know whether the camera will pick it up, but we do have like a cross formation on it there. Doubt there is any kind of writing on it. That may have been another font. And this is also another piece of a headstone. And then we have this just here on like a ledge, and it does have some sort of carvings here on it. It's like a small Celtic cross, I suppose. I'm presuming this would have been the altar then. And also then we have a little, probably a font as well, although I did read that sometimes they would wash their hands before Mass there. So it's given us an idea already of the age of this place, which is quite amazing that it's still standing here. But I'm going to take you out now, and we're going to go up to this Anchorite Cell, or the Nugent Mausoleum. So this is known as the Anchorite Cell, but it's also known as Anchorites in the Stone. Now, habitation predates its use as a hermitage. The origins predate the second millennium, and there is a record of a church mentioned in 1302. Now, originally the hermit's cell stood where the tower house is situated. And you can kind of just see that there now. The tower house was rebuilt by Richard Nugent in 1680. And it was eventually integrated into the 19th century mausoleum we see here today. Now, try and find the best path to get up to this. Maybe, yeah, I think maybe that way we'll keep going. Now it's quite hard to get around. We're in our welly boots, and it's not as easy as what I actually presumed it would be to get up to. But just look at that. Now you'll have to excuse me puffing and panting, but this is not as easy as it looks. I think there's been cows here, which leaves the ground really, really uneven. Wow, that is amazing. Now there is a story attached to this mausoleum, and it's the story of the hermit, and his name was Patrick Beglan. He was the last anchorite who lived here, and he died in 1616. Now, he made a decision to spend the remainder of his life in this small, dark cell for meditation and prayer. He said he'd never leave by the door of the cell again. However, for some unknown reason, Patrick decided that he would leave one day, and he decided to climb out of a window, believing that it didn't break his vow. But unfortunately for Patrick, he actually fell and broke his neck. Patrick is supposed to be buried inside here under some stone, and then, as I said, later the Nugents took over and they are now buried inside here. And I'm out of breath. That was a trek. I'll just turn you around there now just to have a look at what we have just come up. And you can see there's a complete drop just there, and we've had to try and clamber our way up through there. Now, and of course, off in the distance behind the car park, we have a beautiful view of Fore Abbey. Right, let's take a closer look at this. So it is still known as Anchorite Cell. As I said, the Nugents are buried in here. But what a very, very sad story. Like, a lot of these hermits went in to these dark cells. A lot of them were locked inside, so they couldn't leave. And Patrick decided, I think the story says that there was a hunt and he got curious and he wanted to follow the hunt or go and take a look at the hunt. So, as I said, he climbed out the window, feeling that I'm not breaking my vow by doing so. I'm not leaving through the door. And unfortunately for Patrick, he fell and he broke his neck. Isn't that fantastic? Okay, so we actually can get around to have a look. Now, I will have footage of the inside. There's a video online that I can share some of it at least. Where they actually go inside. But I'm hoping we might be able to take a look through a window maybe. Maybe there we'll be able to see something. But what we'll do first is we'll scout around. This one is open as well, actually, this window. You can hear the echo of my voice. But some of them are sealed with like a perspex glass. You might even be able to have a look in here. This is, I think, the tower house. Wow, look at that. But we will take a better look. I just want to see which would be the best angle to give you a glimpse inside. This one, see the perspex glass is, you can't actually see through it, unfortunately. That would have been a good position to see through. That one is also closed up. This one is also open. And actually you can see the Nugent's gravestone there. But I think what I'll do is I'll take the phone off the gimbal and try and reach through to show you better. So some of them are open and some of them are sealed. But just look at this big door. It's amazing, look at that. And we also have the coat of arms up over the door. There is writing there. I will probably find that online. At the moment, it's too hard to read from here. But you can see the crown, and if it's a pelican or some sort of bird, anyway.
I think it says the Right Honourable Richard Nugent.
Yeah.
And it's hard to kind of read,
Yeah.
but then it says something about chapel and castle.
Yeah. So we will take the phone off the gimbal and we'll try and have a little look in through those windows. So this, guys, is the inside of this magnificent, or Anchorite Cell as they call it. That would be doing.
There's actually a plaque on the wall over there.
Yeah, there is supposed to be lovely plaques and all in here. But I'll see if I can zoom in a little bit. So that's the plaque. Just open the torch for a sec and show the bottom of it, because there's nice designs on the bottom of it. See that there? Just there. There is nice designs. Yeah. And that would be, I'm presuming that is also to the Nugents. Those are all the windows there. Beautiful floor.
That looks like a face over there.
Where?
Where you were looking on the right. See the face there in the middle?
I won't really know till edit what I can see. I'm kind of not really able to see from the camera this side. But we'll try somewhere else, another position. Right, we're on the other side now, looking in. I don't know what that was. There was a noise there. You can just take a look at that floor. It's absolutely amazing. That, I think, is the end door just there, yeah. Look at the floor. Right, so another window. I presume up there to my left is actually where the altar stands. I'd love to be able to show you. I'm going to try my best to, sorry now, my phone is shaking. I'd love to be able to try and show you the altar itself, but we'll see what we can do. Right, so another little area, and just there where the torch is, there is actually like, I think that's where the altar is. You can just see a figure. I'm going to try to zoom in. It's quite awkward, but if I zoom in, just there, you can barely make out. I think there's two figures actually there. I might be able to blow it up and edit. But we're going to keep trying to see if we can get a better view at this altar. Right, I've put my phone back on the gimbal. I am not sure what we will see, if anything, because the altar is actually just there and I'm still not even getting a close enough look to it. So really the reason why I want to show you this altar is it is reported that there is actually bones just lying on top of the altar, and I am going to, it's actually, well, it's not really on top of it, I suppose, it's just underneath the altar, but underneath that altar is supposed to be bones. So we are actually going to try and get a look through the door. Wow, that is actually a beautiful shot of inside of the mausoleum itself. Bear with me. And there they are, guys, just all laid out just in under the altar. Like, that's kind of crazy to see. Now, are they Patrick's bones, the hermit who fell and broke his neck? who had decided for meditation and prayer he was going to lock himself inside? Or are they the Nugents, remains of the Nugents? We don't really know for sure, but see that slab there? That is definitely the Nugent slab just there. Gosh, that is so beautiful in there. Wouldn't it be fantastic to get in there and walk around? This is the altar that we were trying so hard to get you a glimpse of. But that is just, I mean, the whole place is so beautiful here. Look at this. I'm going to zoom out. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? It's almost like a chapel, isn't it? Just like a chapel. Can you open that torch? Just zoom it out a bit, please. Actually, you can see it there now without the torchlight. It's kind of maybe a little bit creepy. But just look at that. And we'll light it all up for you. How amazing is that? And we have to move the camera every now and again just to try and get you that glimpse. Wow. And I think, yeah, there is designs even on that altar as well. So you can see the light coming through that last window there over the altar, and it's actually shining right on the Nugent's grave slab. I do see a little bit of water on the ground, so it probably is leaking. But how fantastic. And to see those bones literally just there. I mean, I don't know why they're there. I don't know why they are there, but they are. But look at last glimpse of the inside of Anchorite Cell, or now the Nugent Mausoleum. So that is it. A fantastic castle style mausoleum. You can see the wall going around it is also castle style. We'll close up the gate. Unusual kind of a stone structure. The rain is coming again. Would you believe it? But guys, if you do like this video, please subscribe to the channel. It's absolutely free. Hit the notification bell because that's very important. That will let you know when I upload next. And just look at that. How, you know, you don't get much better than that. Westmeath, Fore village, the ruins of the church, the beautiful Fore Abbey, the wet weather. We're going to get soaked. But on to our next one, guys. Take care. God bless. And I'll talk to you all again soon. Right. We might have to go down on our arse.
Fuck this.